Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of my most excellent videos. In front of us we have the Raddy Malahit DSP2. It's an ultra-wideband software-defined receiver. You can find it selling at iRaddy.com for $449.99 at the making of this video. That's retail price. If you look down the paid link section, I do have a coupon. I believe it still works. It brings the price down to $382. Still a luxury range, yes, but not too bad if you really like this radio. It is April 2025, so the prices could fluctuate, so keep that in mind when you're looking. During this video, though, I'm going to perform a daytime medium wave band scan Chicagoland area. Here we can pick up using my wonderful C.Crane twin coil ferry antenna system. Yeah, this thing's amazing. Now, you can't find it on their site anymore. They don't make it anymore, but you can look on the secondary market. I'll have links down below as well to this to see if you can find one. If you're an avid AM listener, a medium wave definitely, you want to pick this up. This thing's amazing for the medium wave band. So I love it. Very precise. So we're going to set it off to the side. I'm to my left, but elevated about 2.5 feet and definitely 3 feet away from the radio. So give it some space here. And that way I can tune off there and we'll show it on here. So yeah, the radio itself. So we're going to go over features, dual size comparison. Those are cruising the daytime band. So let's look at basic features of the Malahit DSP2. I'm not going to get too involved. You can go look at the review video if you like. I'll have in the iCard section up above. Left hand side, we got a headphone jack. We have a USB-C charge port. We got a standby power button, master on off switch. Cool stuff, right? Front of the radio, we got a 3.5-inch capacitive touch display. Very awesome. So we're going to see all our action happening. If you haven't seen this radio before and you're seeing it first, it gets cool. Down here we have 2 speakers in stereo, I believe, 1 inch each. They're little tiny guys, but they sound really good. All metal enclosure, which is pretty intense. It's got a good weight to it. I don't know the exact weight, but it's heavy. Gunmetal gray color. Top, we got a business end going on here. We got 2 antenna inputs here, which is nice. High Z and a 50 ohm. So passive wires and loops go to the high Z. Active antennas, which we're going to use today, go to the 50 ohm. Like your MLA 30 loops, active loop sticks. Definitely use that. We have a volume knob and a frequency knob, and they also have push-down features as well. So I'll try to show that to you. This controls step when you push it down, and when you push down volume, you have attenuation and other parameters as well. Little hook point for lanyard, which I wouldn't use. It's just a little cotter pin jammed in there. I don't know what they were thinking, but it's not going to hold this radio. Guaranteed not to. There's 6 screws to get to the flat pack battery, so the battery could be changed. You just have to find the exact size to fit there. It's a real low-profile flat LiPo. There's a frequency it covers, 10 kilohertz all the way up to 2 gigahertz. Yeah, I haven't been up this high here, so I don't know how well it does, but I've been on the air band. I've been a little bit on the 2 meter band, stuff like that, basic things. Here's your modulation types. It has upper lower sideband and synchronous detection. We won't be using that, but it is available on this radio. 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Rock and roll. All right, so size comparison. Yeah, let's go ahead and show you real quick here. We got the CC pocket in the house. Of course, there's more options when we turn the radio on. I'll show you. But there's CC pocket. Yeah, Rockin. CC Skywave 2. Yeah, we show these just for size so you guys know what's going on. And then last but not least, we don't have those 2 radios. We have a deck of cards. Iron Man. He's the man with the master plan. He can spin it like no one can. He loves awesome radios from Raddy Land. He's Iron Man. Yeah, this radio is like Iron Man. Love it. All right, cool. So how do I hook it up? Pretty basic. It's got a output from the tuner box. So here is the tuner box here. So the C.Crane, you can see the numbers on here. It's pretty awesome. We got a coarse tuning and fine tuning. Turn it on. Got the LED there. It's got a 9-volt battery. Now it also runs on a power source as well too, if you wanted. It's got an input there, and it comes with it. You have the AC adapter, which is nice. And then it's got the cable here to run to the antenna. And then we have this going to the radio. So it's just a simple tip sleeve jack. And you can see how this works. And I have a cool little adapter. Now, I think I found this on eBay. It was I had to search for this a little bit. This was a BNC male to a 3.5 millimeter female tip sleeve. Okay, that's how that setup is. And this hooks up to the radio. So let's do that. Let's hook it up. So as you saw on top of the radio there, I already had an adapter. This is an SMA male to a female BNC. We're just going to hook this up. Done. That's all that easy that is. External antennas are pretty easy with this radio. I believe it does come with a whip antenna, so yeah, get you started anyway, and then you can work your way to different antennas. So we're going to hook this to the twin coil, and we're going to start tuning away. So let's go ahead and plug this in here. All right, great. Awesome. So I'm going to slide this over a little bit. I might zoom in. I don't know, see how this works out. I did do one with the the Trick Advantage passive loop, and that was awesome. That was more of a broad spectrum. This one's more of a narrow spectrum, and it gets a little more difficult to see what's going on. But yeah, bear with me here. It should be awesome. We should be able to pick up quite a bit. So let's go ahead and turn the radio on. Or tap that power button. It should automatically boot up. Should get a boot screen. There we go. Rockin'. There we are. Great. So you can see kind of the waterfall, the panorama. Let me go over some basics here. I'm going to zoom on down. Now, current time is 10:45 a.m. That's Central Daylight Time. I'm near Chicago, Illinois, USA. Sake of the band scan, add 5 hours for UTC. But there's our time. Just see it off to the side there. Pretty small. Maybe I got to go a little closer yet, huh? I'm going to have to. I might zoom it back up. So you can see you get little options: squelch, noise blanker, noise reduction, which we might try. AGC is on fast right now. I might go to middle of the road, but we'll see how that goes. 50 ohm usually shows activity on top of the radio. It is lit up. Green indicating it is 50 ohm is connected, so that's good. Even though it's not showing on this display here, it is connected. Preamplifier we're not going to use, not needed. AM modulation. Attenuation's at 11, so if it's the signal's pretty strong, it's overdriven, you'll know. You can hit the attenuation by using the volume control. And of course, volume controls your volume, and of course you have your bandwidth, normal, narrow, and wide. We'll see how normal goes. We can narrow it up if we need to. Battery life, I don't know if you can make that out to say 4 volts right now. We're on speaker mode. You get this will light up headphone mode if you're in that. I think you run both modes if you're trying to monitor something. That's nice. We got some more stuff here underneath the panorama and our waterfall. We have a radio, audio, visual, noise reduction, mode, and band. So yeah, if you hit radio, you'll see a bunch of options. And there's a lot going on. The only one I'm worried about here is RF gain. So if I find that the signal's too weak, I might go in here and adjust the RF gain up a little bit. I might turn the attenuation down, to 0 or just to get away from too much attenuation. Those two things help a lot with an amplified antenna. That's all you really got to know. These other things are like noise reductions and other features that help noise reduction and the different issues you may have with overdriven stations down here. But otherwise, we're not going to worry about those. And audio, we got filters, which are cool. You can set them on this radio. Again, go to the main video if you want to know more. Your visual, we're not going to really mess around in here. There's noise reduction. Kills noise. It's amazing. This thing for shortwave is killer. On medium wave, it's okay when you're listening to talk, but it sometimes gets a little wonky. Music, definitely not useful. Do not use it for music. Mode. So on mode, we have AM detection, so we have the standard. Whoops, I just did there. Mode. Okay, you can tap it. There we go. This is synchronous upper sideband, lower sideband, and back to standard. So it's there. So if you want to use it, you can. That's awesome. And of course, you can manually upper sideband, lower sideband as well there. Cool. And of course, what band, you can pick a band, an area, or like a preset. So it's pretty basic on the presets. So it is what it is. All right, so let's get out of here. Let's start tuning away. All right, our first station is 540, and we're going to go to that. So let's see how this is going to work. I'm going to move this in, bring this up. All right. I'll probably play with this volume control a little bit.
For the country, we'd be like, wow, this is...
First station's 540. There it is. So I'm watching where it peaks. See how precise this is? Yeah, it's very precise. So we're going to bring it in. Use the fine tuning to get right on it. You can almost hear him. Point the loop stick.
The Todd Albaugh Show.
More
There you
than
go.
600 international students and recent grads have had their visas revoked. Here's people that are here 100% legally. We've seen the ICE checklist. Do you wear a Chicago Bulls hoodie? Do you have a tattoo? Check, check, gone. Again, this is about due process and following the Constitution.
Okay, that was 540 WAUK, Jackson, Wisconsin. Nice. Okay, next station.
What do you attribute the almost zero presence of black or brown people? What is that about? Because the appeal of the Bernie/AOC old college professorial, and I don't want to push back against the hippie thing. Hippies were cooler than these people. These are old leftist urban cranks, and which is a great band name. I think that they're all about this haughty.
Okay, so you can tell this is right wing all the way. So, anyways, this is 560 WIND, Chicago, coming nice and strong. As you can see, it's very precise. When I'm using that fine tuning, I can see exactly where it's moving on there, and it is that precise of a tuner when you're using the C.Crane. Definitely awesome. You're going to pick up a lot of faint signal to this bad boy. So, yeah, let's keep going. AGC is fast. I think I mentioned that.
Of the Senate and folksy and charmy. He's always got a one.
Okay, 580. Let's tune this in.
Well, yeah, the birthright citizenship question is a really interesting one because you would think that if fetal rights begin at conception, one of those rights might be citizenship. And there would then be implications for deporting the parent of someone who is pregnant, or even for the logic of birthright citizenship. Anti-abortion lawyers, for the most part, have not been vocally taking that position.
Okay, so here's 580 WILL, Urbana, Illinois. It's 150 miles to the south-southeast. So cardinal directions is north, east, south, west. So this is working out pretty good. Now we can try noise reduction, see what it sounds like. Let's give it a shot.
Was written and how the children of people who are undocumented would have been regarded. And again, I think this just goes to show that fetal personhood has logic, but...
Pretty awesome. Okay, so we don't want noise reduction on 590, I don't think. All right. Let's aim that antenna.
Drugs, healthcare administration, and technology. These costs flow downstream, directly into your health insurance premium. That's why Blue Cross Blue Shield Initiative is advocating for a system-wide solution to address the rising cost of healthcare.
Wow, that sounds good.
That healthcare is personal, needs to work for everyone, and affordability matters. And that starts with shedding light on the entire cost equation, from upstream costs to downstream premiums. Want to learn more? Visit MIVdaily.com/affordability. Listen to what those local folks are telling you. The official online local news source is WKZO.com. This is your midday report.
Okay, so you got the callers. This is 590 WKZO, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Pretty awesome. Coming in great. Of course, steps. I could mess with the step. I keep hitting the step one by accident, but I'm trying to hit the pressing down here so I can change attenuation on the faint signals and changing the filter. Try to get these faint stations better. It's coming in fantastic.
According to a proposal by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the current use of the word farm as it relates
That noise reduction. Wow. You can adjust that.
Used currently by the Department of Interior and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration runs contrary to the best.
It's all right, you know. I was saying to myself, I kind of like the feeling. It gives me a little bit of a, I'm doing stuff. Kind of like the adrenaline of just like, yeah, I'm in it. I'm in life. Doing stuff.
Here's 600 WMT, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. 175 miles to the west here. Now, I'm going to leave it on narrow here for a bit.
You're fresh off of, a big run that you did or a 5K or whatever.
These are powerful, FDA-approved pain treatments precisely administered with an extremely small needle to get to the root of your pain. And before you know it, you'll feel the anti-inflammatory power of Toradol and the cushioning relief of hyaluronic acid. Positive patient results are regularities, not rarities. And we do this conveniently in office, so it's very easy for you. And we're in network with most insurance plans, including Medicare.
So sometimes you'll get like a little warble or a little weird sound, and it might be artifacts from the processor inside here on the display, so you can actually turn the display off, and sometimes that helps.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is here for you, bringing you the latest headlines with John McCure.
Being reported that Iran and U.S. nuclear talks have led to intelligence that shows that Iran may be 1 to 2 months away.
And diving into the details with Julia Fellow.
The president has an axe to grind because he blames them for the attention.
I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a little warble going on, and it goes away either with me grounding it by inductance here, by holding the radio case, which is neat, it's grounded, or by turning off the display. So it's got a little display sound. It's there. It's not horrible. It's on a few frequencies, but just want to bring it to your attention. All right, let's keep going. Get through this band, right? All right, turn this up.
An attempt by his defense to get it delayed. A federal judge decided that the disgraced hip-hop mogul's trial will start as planned on May 5th, just after the indictment against Diddy was expanded for a third time to include new charges of sex trafficking and prostitution.
So here's 640 WMFN, Peatone, Illinois, Black Information Network.
Registered to vote. Although it has not passed the Senate to become a law yet, the Color of Change PAC's Jamar Brown tells the BIN this could...
Let's, I can see this next station's gonna be strong, WCR. Let's put some attenuation down on it. That'll help. Okay. Then we'll go back to volume.
Available. Visit climateguardwindows.com today to schedule a free in-home.
Look, we saw the strength meter here.
The official partner here is
Pegged.
670 to score. This is Speaks, and you know.
Yeah, 670 to score, WCR, Chicago. It's a beast.
You can make a heads-up play with player performance trends. That means whether you want to bet on a player to score 30 points or to put up a triple-double, you can check out the latest stats and see who's hot without even leaving the app. Plus, after the game tips off, you can even combine live prop bets into a same-game parlay for a chance to win big. Look, if you don't already have FanDuel, playoff time is the perfect time to join. You get started with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com/Matt to join today. That's FanDuel.com/Matt.
Okay, we're going to chase a faint signal. 700. Turn it all the way up. Aim it to the east. There it is. That kind of kills it, noise reduction. But it's there. So you can turn up the gain or turn it down. So that's WLW Cincinnati, Ohio, 300 miles to the east. Cool.
The Lutheran Hour began in 1930. It's the world's longest-running Christian outreach radio program. Tune in Sunday mornings at 6:30 right here on WGN.
You sometimes feel tired even after a full night's sleep, repeatedly getting nudged by your partner about your enthusiastic snoring. You might have sleep apnea, which can lead to serious health issues. Don't ignore this. Here's good news. It's treatable. Chicago ENT has been helping patients for 40 years. Most comprehensive treatment center for sleep.
So 720 WGN, Chicago.
Experts in sleep medicine. They're also...
750, we got music on WNDZ, Portage, Indiana. I gotta turn it down. But yeah, I can't hover on the music. But this one's definitely coming in good. I haven't even tuned it yet. You can actually see it right there. Right on the money. Alright, so WGR is 760. We should be able to pick this up. Okay, let's try. That's it. So quiet, I just heard it. So it's close to 750. It's getting a little bleed over if I go tuning it too much the wrong way on the tuner here. But the nice thing about this, you can detune. You don't have to worry about going 1 kilohertz. You just detune your antenna. It works out perfectly. All right, let's keep going.
Monsignor Anthony Figueroa, even in...
I don't know if I mentioned that was WGR Detroit, Michigan, 760, 270 miles east. That was cool. Okay, 780 WBBM News Radio, Chicago, local.
What Francis wants us to do. The Vatican announced the Pope's death early this morning, weeks after he was hospitalized for 38 days with double pneumonia, and just a day after his last appearance in public at St. Peter's Square. Just like...
Jerusalem, Brooke Watt from Kansas City, Kansas, says she welcomed a progressive pope.
I think as a kid, I always remembered him saying that dogs go to heaven, which was a very big deal as a young child.
820 WCPT, Willow Springs, Illinois.
So hopefully we have someone who's equally as...
860s, Wisconsin. I gotta turn my loop stick. All right, let's tune it.
Welcome to Via Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voice, WNOV 860 AM 106.5. I am Brian Sanders.
Call letters.
Wisconsin Voice is one of the, forces out the camp.
Yeah, WNOV, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's a low power station, 250 watts coming out of Milwaukee, 52 miles to the north.
Sitting here sideline or side by side or at the hip or whatever you want to say.
Okay, 870s Michigan, so we can pick this up. Should be able to. This thing is so precise. There it is.
Especially migration by war. Pope Francis is being remembered for his personal humility and his emphasis on God's mercy toward humanity. Jason DeGroat, NPR News.
The Pentagon is denying media reports that Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth mishandled classified data. NPR is aligned with...
In March,
Volume's cranked because I haven't turned the attenuation down or turned the RF gain up. Okay, we got a lot to cover yet. Okay, so 870, East Lansing, Michigan, 195 miles, WKAR. Nice.
Politico op-ed, former Pentagon spokesman John Elliott described the Defense Department in disarray under Hegseth with the firings last week of 3 of his top aides. Hegseth says he's spoken with the president.
And we are going to continue fighting on the same page all the way.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Secret Service is investigating the theft of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's purse. DHS officials say it was stolen by a masked man while she was in a D.C. restaurant this weekend. You're listening to ABC News.
Mark Olson here with Redo Cabinets. I've been telling you why you should consider refacing instead of replacing your kitchen.
So here's WLS, Chicago.
Redo Cabinets is a family business, and we've been serving Chicago.
More than they want to do to tweak theirs. Now, Houston dominates the offensive glass, so they're going to win games in this series. They played horribly in the first 3 quarters, and that game got down to about 4 points. But you see how valuable playoff experience is. The referees, we tell you this every year, playoff.
I don't know where we're getting music from. 920 WOKY, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Fox Sports.
Okay, so they swallow the whistle. They're going to allow...
By the moment of meeting the new pope, who had taken the papal name of Francis. As I watched his opening address to the crowd in St. Peter's Square, tears welled up in my eyes. Now, it may seem kind of silly, but now that I was a Catholic, I sensed the spiritual connection I had to this unknown man halfway around the world.
Here's WKBM, Sandwich, Illinois, Relevant Radio on 930.
The next successor of St. Peter, he was now my papa.
And then it was also 4:20 yesterday. My wife and I were just recently having a conversation about high thoughts because I was sharing one with her, and I know there's got to be a movie or something.
Here's 940 WFAW, Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. They usually have some music playing. Definitely you can boost the signal as well. You see how narrow it is, and you're not likely to get bleed through with this twin coil. So yeah,
Like, let's say
it's amazing.
What happens when you die? So whenever you die, and I don't know if this would be heaven, hell, or...
Holy Father, Father Kubicki, is a spiritual director at St. Francis de Sales Seminary in the Archdiocese of Milwaukee. And he gives retreats and missions around the country. And, of course, his prayer reflections can be heard throughout the day right here on Relevant Radio. Thanks.
So, yeah. Also, if you're into fine-tuning DX, you can actually get this more sensitive or less sensitive. You can have these peaks higher or lower so you can see them in the noise floor. Something to think about. You can raise and lower that. As well as this, if you like this panorama here. The waterfall. If you like the waterfall display. I don't care for it as much. I'm more interested in the peaks here. So this is 950 WNTD Chicago. Relevant Radio. Sister station WKBM.
So many people's minds and hearts too, but what an amazing...
This is Wisconsin Public Radio. Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include Progressive Insurance with its Name Your Price tool.
970 WHA, Madison, Wisconsin.
Driver's budget. Learn more at progressive.com.
Outfielders always on those high pop-ups know they got time to cruise underneath it. There's no need to hurry on the first step and get moving in. But yeah, you're right. It seemed like the wind almost knocked that down some as far as you had to end up coming on that.
That'll bring up Ref Snyder, who took Cannon deep in the second. 4-1 Red Sox. The pitch called strike. Wild day yesterday.
So 1000 WMVP Chicago. This one's exhibiting a little bit of a chirpy sound to it. Hopefully you guys can hear that. And then turning off the screen or grounding it with your hands eliminates it. And it's not the antenna system, it's definitely the radio.
Kyle Teal and Colson Montgomery went back-to-back in the fourth inning, and that one.
Na biednych, skrzywdzonych i apelował do głów państw, przede wszystkim także przedstawicieli Kościoła.
To dotyczyło wielu apeli, wielu przemówień domożnych tego...
1030 WNVR, Vernon Hills, Illinois. We're going to keep rocking here. Not to cover yet. We're almost 30 minutes in. Wow. Takes a lot of tuning here to go through all these stations.
Somebody passes in your family or somebody close to you, and you just ran into him at the grocery store or whatever. You're like, I just saw that guy yesterday, and now he's dead. Yeah.
Here's 1050 WLAP, Kenosha, Wisconsin, to the north.
I hadn't thought of that angle, actually. You're always coming from somewhere I'm not expecting, Robin. That's why we've been around. Most people don't, man.
Okay, we have music there, just faint coming in. That's WHFB, Benton Harbor, Michigan, 95 miles away.
WHFB.
Cuban amount of say, right? We're like, you're not the governor anymore. No, I'm not the governor anymore. Now, I thought I was, right? I still thought that I had controlling stake. I thought that I still was going to be able to. And then you realize it in real time. You have no actual stake. There's nothing you're going to say.
WTSO, Madison, Wisconsin.
Luca Schmidt. I really, Luca's pretty cool, actually. That might be kind of cool. However, German to Slovenian probably doesn't.
Well, you know what, though? It's a popular name anyway. It's biblical, Luke. I mean, come on.
It is quite popular. Yeah. It's in all of the different books.
Ducha, spokoju I dużo zdrowia. Niech ten wyjątkowy czas przyniesie dużo pozytywnej energii I wiosennej radości. Wesołych świąt.
1080 WNWI, Oklahoma, Illinois. Can't hover on the music. 1110 is WXCS Chicago. Let's boost it. There it is. Sweet spot there. Fine tune it in. You can see it kind of moving a little bit on the panorama as I'm tuning here.
Nice. They're not going to get it, but you can tell they're really turning up the heat on him more than anyone else in the administration, which I think for a lot of us indicates, well, that means we definitely want him to stay. And that means he's shaking things up in a way that makes...
Lovely. 1130 WISN, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Let's get it. Clay, what, are you like a Methodist or something?
Well, in this study, you mentioned the Barna study, which is the State of the Church 2025. This is kind of an overview of all of Christendom, if you will. Yes. But this is showing that...
Here's 1160 WYLL, Christian Radio, Hope for Your Life, Chicago.
66% of all U.S. adults say they have made a personal commitment to Jesus that is still important in their life today. And that's a 12% increase since...
Okay, we got the squirrel here. Let's so we can't juice this one. There it is, juice it up. I can't hover on it, so we're just going to talk over it. All right. Squirrel on my radio. Again, can't hover on that, so let's keep going. Cool. Yeah, WSQR, Sycamore, Illinois. Yeah, College Town Radio. Now, I could see him having one of these radios. Yeah, why not? This thing's amazing. All right. It's trendy. Definitely cool. It's not like super retro or anything goofy. It's awesome. All right. Or they're poor college students and they can't afford it. So, yeah, there's that.
Tu pena es mía, y así con todo esto, tu luto será más llevadero, y habrás de decir con agradecida humildad, Señor, hágase tu voluntad.
Nice 1200 WRTO Chicago. Oop. There we go. Can't forget about these guys.
No, que no lo metió. Ya, pónganse de acuerdo. Pónganse de acuerdo.
Esto es lo último que quiero decir para darle chance a los demás chavos.
WKRS 1220 Waukegan, Illinois, East.
Saludos. Saludos.
Te vamos a
ya ves,
otra
vez. And this is a workout. Reaching and moving.
What was your role in that at that time? You're 10 years old and you're saying, hey, Dad, let's do this.
Yeah, so the year before I had, we had visited a pumpkin farm down in...
Here's 1230 WCLO, Janesville, Wisconsin, an agro station. If you want to learn how to farm, raise cattle, buy a tractor, all that fun stuff, you listen to this station.
World's greatest concept to me, that you could actually go walk through a maze. And nobody knew what a corn maze was, or, life-size mazes really at that point. It was a very new concept.
Oggi col dovere non si fa, perciò soltanto il lacrime ogni istante che l'uomo va spargendo a qua e là. Tu vedi quanto amore sono spezzato e quanta gente vive con me.
WSBC Chicago.
E quanti figli sono...
This might be Milwaukee.
Daniel, what he does, he has a mock draft on Wednesday night on NFL Network. Charles Davis and Daniel Jeremiah.
I'm leaving the filter on normal. It just sounds good. And these faint stations, it'll take too much time to go through every one, but we're already running behind, but it's okay. This is WSSP in Milwaukee. Always comes in faint.
Proprietary information.
So we got some music on WEKZ, Monroe, Wisconsin. Another weak station, but we're hearing it, so that's great. See, that's got that rumble. Like around it, it goes away. This is Fonz FM. You can hear it. Cool. Yeah, only my big stick radios can pick this up. And of course, a radio like this with a 200mm ferrite hooked up to it. WZTI, Greenville, Wisconsin.
Again, anytime we talk about this, people are, they don't have this particular lifestyle. But I'll just say it. I mean, you just had a baby. The best possible formation for raising children is husband and wife, nuclear family.
1310 WIBA, Madison, Wisconsin. 72 miles northwest.
That is a reason that...
1330 could be a Rockford. Could be WNTA or WKTA, Evanston.
Your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes.
Here's 1360 WLBK, DeKalb, Illinois. They got music usually now, which is awesome. And other, College Town, Northern Illinois. Again, like I mentioned, maybe they have this radio. Somebody does, man. It's pretty cool.
Get your Flippins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com.
Nice Nice music here. 1380 WBEL, South Beloit, Illinois. We can juice it. Let's see, we'll juice it. I wish I had a mute thing. That'd be kind of nice, but that's all right. So I just find just grounding it here while I'm looking at it is better than turning the screen on and off. 1390 WGRB, Inspiration Radio, Chicago. Okay, music on WRGN, Racine, Wisconsin, 1400.
Play again, that wind just starting to pick up.
Duran, when that ball actually hit the glove of the shortstop, Duran was maybe 3 steps from second base. I mean, you talk about hustling. Woo! That's the example you want to show when you're talking to the younger players, like, watch this guy, do that.
If Amaya had dropped it, Duran might have ended up at third.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, Devers takes a strike.
You know, because that's a good point. If that kicks off...
That sounds good. That really reduced a lot of hash and noise. That noise reduction is just one of the main features on this radio that makes it pretty awesome. So just letting you know, you're getting your money's worth in a lot of respects. So there are some issues that they need to work out still, but it's still an amazing radio. 1410 WRMN, Elgin, Illinois. You got to remember, this is a portable software-defined receiver. You can go portable. You can go outside with this thing and hook it up and go. I mean, and it's fairly portable. I mean, it's not super huge, but it is kind of weighty being all metal. I wouldn't mind a high impact plastic, ABS style maybe, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going to knock all this all metal, but yeah, it'd be neat if they had something that was less heavy.
Yeah, it just terrorizes defenses by never...
Don't know if I said this is Elgin, Illinois, WRMN. I think I did.
It's like he was raised and told, never, ever go slowly because you're going to...
Alright, we're going to just breeze up the dial. There's stations here, like this is Deerfield, Illinois, WEEF. Got weird music. An oboe or something? Alright. Here's Rockford.
He's walked and flied to left.
Oh, they got a game going on. That's cool. Usually they're news.
Cannon pitches. And Devers got one out toward the end of the bat. In the air to center for Rock.
It's nice that there are multiple stations covering sports games. WROK, Rockford, Illinois.
It's 4-1 Red Sox on the Hard Rock Casino. White Sox.
He needs a higher. It seems.
But that's the real 1450 WRLL, Cicero. There's WGEZ, Beloit, Wisconsin, Iron Country. Sounding great, huh? Yeah, I don't want to put noise reduction on that. That just kills it.
Where rednecks come from. On her license plate, she was lost.
We'll get some heavy metal here. Definitely heavy metal. WPJX Rebel Radio out of Zion, Illinois. Let's just zip up the band here. I think this is WCKG Elmhurst.
Attorney General Dave Sunday appealed a federal court ruling.
1580 WTTN, Watertown, Wisconsin.
Otherwise eligible mail-in ballots without a date. The New
Hampshire Senate advanced SB 213, which would require voters applying by mail.
될까 하여 문밖 강가에 나가 거기 앉아서 모인 여자들에게 말하는데 두아디라시에 있는
WCGO, Evanston, Illinois.
하나님을 섬기는 루디아라 하는
solidarity and heart to heart with the poor. There's criticism for that he was a social worker and that it was all about social work and this and that, kind of like Dorothy Day sort of situation.
WSJP, Sussex, Wisconsin, Relevant Radio.
I am going to show you I love you. And what...
Coil windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts.
Yeah, sure. Okay, no drafts. Got it. There's more than one draft?
No, but Pella should be everyone's
WOZN, Madison, Wisconsin, The Zone. Got a little bit of that flutter. Or just turn the screen off.
Installers can match your unique home through dramatic sizes, custom colors, finishes, profiles, product types, and more, along with...
People, look. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's the morning show. Good morning to my main man, Titus. Titus, how you doing? I'm doing well. How are you this morning? I'm great.
WBON, Chicago. Okay, we're done. Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, let's just go ahead and... Are we zeroed? I think we're zeroed out. All right, so there it is. The DSP2 Malahit by Raddy, hooked up to the C.Crane, awesome twin coil ferrite system, just amazing. 200 millimeter Rockin it off to my left here, just amazing. What a cool combo. I mean, this is great. Do you need this? No. And actually, to be honest with you, the Turk Advantage passive loop hooked up to this with the on the high Z connection is a really nice setup, and it's a bit more broad spectrum. You can actually get more stations in without having to tune as often on the tuner if you're doing like band scans or searching through the band quite a bit. But if you're looking for those faint, really faint stations, you're going to want the twin coil because it's going to be very precise on tuning it in. This precision is the most precise tuner I've ever had for medium wave. So if you're using an antenna system, this is the one for medium wave. There's no doubt about it. This is the one you want. If you are big and you're investing in this radio already, I don't see you having a problem investing in this. You might find these used for under 100 if you're lucky, but they're going to run around 100, 150, in my guess. I knew that's what they were selling for. I think around 120, just to give you an idea. So there it is. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a like if you did. If you want to support the channel, both of these items down in the paid link section. Check it out. You guys are awesome. If you made it this far, you guys are hardcore viewers. I love you guys the best. You guys are my main supporters, and I thank you for that. You guys are amazing. And hopefully you get a lot out of this and enjoy what I'm doing. Of course, too, if you like the Raddy Malahit DSP2 radios, you like these type of micro-controlled radios, you know, with these processors and these SDR screens and all this stuff going on, hit subscribe to the bell icon. If I ever see more, I'll pick them up. I really enjoy this radio. It's absolutely just one of my faves. So, and of course, 3, comment down below if you have a DSP2, you're thinking about getting a DSP2, or it's not for you. Just let us know. I mean, I don't mind hearing the comments and what you have to say. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in my next awesome video.